Hey there, scrappy friends. Suzanne here in the studio today to do a follow-up video on a paper pack from last year. I don't know about you, but at the end of the year last year, I was trying to finish up a few paper lines and product that I had used, but I hadn't used up every single bit. So here is my attempt to do that. I'm working with the Isabella paper line today. Remember these beautiful flowers and lemons, as well as this very distinctive tile pattern that came in that paper pack. In an earlier video, which I will go ahead and link in the show notes to this, I had done this double page layout. And as you can see, this is done with just a single sheet of that tiled paper and then a sheet of the mix-in to go with it in the Mink. I use lots of Picture My Life cards, cutting the 4x6s down to 4x4s and using up the extra stickers I had. So there, that's the old news part of the video. Let me show you what else I was able to do with a few scraps. Here we have this one-page layout. And if you think that looks familiar, then you have a good memory because you can see it here on page 19 of the July-August catalog. I basically took this and just made a few small changes to it and then added just a few things from my stash as well. As you can see here, I stamped and die cut quite a few of the flowers, and that of course came from the scrapbooking, Isabella scrapbooking stamp and thin cuts stamp and die set. To color my flowers, I was using mostly mink and lemonade and sage, and for this I did, for a perfect match, I just used ink. Of course, you just put a little ink in the top of your ink case and then use a water brush to apply it. It's the very best way, I think, to get the exact color match to the paper's inks. Okay, you will see a few little, this Rise and Shine, This Is Your Moment, and this sweet chipboard just happened to be on my desk from another project, and I thought they went really well with the Mink. And then I've added in some little mini pearls, and this resin butterfly was also from my stash. So this background piece of paper is actually from the mix-in pack for the July-August catalog. You can see that here. I had already used this one, so I've gotten quite a lot out of this. And then as you can see, this piece here Okay, now let's bring out the cards that I worked on with my leftover scraps. First of all, for these, I decided to watercolor with Close to My Heart's watercolor paints. These come in a palette of 36 different colors. As you can see here, I used a permanent Sharpie to number them. Some people also have numbered them inside. And you have 36 wells here that you can use for mixing the colors. Of course, Close to My Heart likes to show you how to do things. So there's a free download that explains how to get all of the current Close to My Heart colors by mixing the watercolor paints. For example, here on Lemonade, you use 2 and 4 in equal proportions, and then just a smidge of 3. And that works out really well. You'd be surprised how close they can get those. Alrighty, the first card I have here was based on an idea from my upline, Katie. on watercolor paper here, I have white embossed the flowers from That Close to My Heart Stampin' Thin Cut Scrapbooking set. And these are really pretty. And then I've watercolored here with lemonade and then some blue and some green. Give you a close-up of that. I don't know if you can pick up. Watercolor paints have a sort of a little powdery finish to them that I really like as far as being soft and subtle. And it makes a nice contrast to the shininess of the embossed white ink. So there's the first one. Here's the second one. Again, here on this flower, you can see the more powdery effect of the pink. I think I used ballerina and peach there. A couple pieces of scraps, a little dot and dash line here, and the sentiment. I quite like how that turned out. And then in a separate session, because you know during the holidays you're interrupted all the times for holiday items that events and stuff you have to do. So when I came back, I was down to working with some Picture My Life cards, and as you can see in this one here, I've cut a 4x6 down, and then I've used a zip strip across here and a single flower. And then I've also stamped my sentiment on a diagonal. That's one of my new fun things to do. I've been liking stamping on a diagonal like that. Because I had cut some of the 4x6 cards down for that first layout I showed you, I had quite a few of these inch wide strips, 4x1 inch, left over from those cards. And here I turned it into this card here. This coloring on these two cards, I believe I actually did with alcohol markers. I don't remember the exact colors I pulled for those, but it's not that hard to match. If you've been scrapbooking for very long, it's pretty easy to get your colors to line up. Alrighty, well, that is all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little sort of follow-up video on Isabella. Some of the products may still be available online while supplies last. I hope to be back here soon with some more current product. Thanks as always for your time and attention. Bye for a bit.